Every day increasingly there's a problem finding what a good male leader look like. People are trying to hold up people like the current president of the United States or some sort of athlete or actor. Or if you look for one on your own, they'll denigrate people who look at true masculinity, sometimes from the perspective of Andrew Tate, or all the way to the other side of the rail when you're looking at Dr. Jordan Peterson. But me growing up as a black man who grew up in the South, I remember who they were trying to tell me were the great role models. It went all the way from the gambit of the hoodlum, thug, convict, hoodlum, and criminal. Those were the ones that everyone could be, the kind of everyday role model. Then a little bit higher above that, something that there was still a wide range of what we could all aim to be, was some sort of musician. And that was the rapper, that was the singer, but hey, that was something we could all do. And then the pinnacle, the highest of the high, no, not a business owner, not some sort of other man who used his brains or his skills. It was an athlete. And those are the three hierarchy of role models in the black community, to some degree, even still today. But looking at the great leaders through history, I think there's 8 characteristics that you can learn from each of them, apply them to your life today and in your community. It'll help you and the people around you become great leaders and be better. So you know what? I'm going to talk about those 8 characteristics today. So let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson and welcome to the Legacy Gentleman channel. Today, I'm going to talk about the 8 characteristics that great leaders throughout history all displayed. And the first one is to be steadfast in your values. See, great leaders, their values are rooted in timeless truths, and they don't compromise them just to please the crowd or to even make themselves look good. They'll even hold on to their values to the point of death. See, likewise, your leadership should be founded on these rock-solid principles that you never budge from. And first things first, you're gonna have to decide what those values are. Is it truth? Is it honesty? Is it looking out for other people? And then you're gonna have to hold on to it, because that is gonna be the basis of your authority over other people. So hey, be steadfast to your principles. The number 2 thing that all great leaders are is they're inspirational. I'm gonna go a little deep here, because see, the root word of inspirational is spirit. And guys, you have to have something in your spirit that'll actually move other people. And to me, that's always been my belief in Christ, and that's underlying moral value has led me in a lot of things that I did. It made me say, hey, no matter what's going on, I want to take care of the people who I am responsible for. It made me say, hey, if I see something going on wrong with somebody else, even if they don't work for me, there's some injustice going on, some despair, some mistreatment going on, I need to take care of it. That's something that you have to do. You have to find ways to inspire people and move them out of the condition they're in. And you're only gonna do that if you have a vision. So yes, you need to have a vision of where you want to go personally, and whatever organization or group you're leading, where you want them to go. So what is your vision? You have to know what it is, and it has to be powerful enough and captivating enough for other people to want to follow. Because that's what leadership is. You're taking a vision and inspiring people to work together to move toward that vision. Because that's what we're talking about. To lead people, you have to be able to captivate them and motivate them. And this is a power that only you possess within your realm of doing things. That's what they want the leader to do, to lead and motivate and inspire them to the vision you have. The next thing a leader must do is you must be compassionate. Now look, being compassionate doesn't mean you need to be lenient, have their way, or be tolerant of people and their shortcomings. It really means that you recognize people have their shortcomings and you seeing it, you have a plan to help them overcome it, raise them up to their next level so that you can still accomplish your goal. And in the end, everyone who started on this journey with you is better because of it. That's part of being compassionate. Not just letting people say, oh, I can't do something, so give them something easier or something within their power to do. It's to move them up a level. You have to raise people up out of their ignorance, out of their sickness, out of their poverty, out of the things that are these character flaws that's going to stop them from being successful in the rest of their lives. And look, this is a thing you still do with grown-ups. It is definitely ingrained in me because of the military and who I was leading means, and I need to look at some of their character flaws and help them get past it, as long as it wasn't really against the laws. but that's still what we all need to do. That's what leadership is. It's leading every day in all facets of life, making people better workers, better learners, better listeners, better leaders themselves. The number 4 thing that all great leaders are, they're servants. And look, this is definitely coming back from the Christian principle of a servant leader, and are definitely the Christian leader. Jesus Christ was a servant. He served his disciples right before his death. But even past that, he served his audiences, he served the people that follows him, he served the people that put their confidence in him. And that is what we need to do. We need to meet the needs of the people who are depending on us to lead them. We need to find out what they need and help them to be successful. Part of helping the people you lead be successful is keeping your bosses and other people from adding more tasks to their work. We need to keep distractions from them. We need to make sure that they're taking care of themselves by getting enough rest, getting enough sleep, getting enough time off so they don't burn out and they're not disenchanted with the organization they work for. It also means we find them good partners to help them move forward the project, even if they didn't know they needed it. See, as a leader who's a servant, you're never always thinking about yourself. You're thinking about the team you're leading and getting them to their next level of being the best them they can be. Here's the number 5 thing, and it's a thing that probably would be number 1 if I thought about it a little better, but I think it makes sense in the flow of this, and it is you have to lead yourself first. And what that means is, as the leader, you can never fail to do what you need to do. Whenever it comes up, you have to be ready to make sure that you've done the preparation work, that you've dotted all your I's, crossed all your T's, checked everyone's work, and actually set them up in a position to anticipate what's coming up next for them. Likewise, if you want to become an effective leader of other people, well, you need to be able to lead yourselves first and not stop in being slaves to your emotion, to their money, to public opinion, or to that desire for yourself to just reach achievements. You're gonna have to lead yourself to get things done and to be a reliable person that people can trust. And it means a lot of those instances that are natural tendencies to be selfish, to be self-aggrandizing, you're gonna have to lead yourself away from it before people will even start trying to count on you. Number 6 is you have to listen to good advice. Yeah, being a good leader means you have to surround yourself with good advisors and take all kinds of input. Not just listen to advice from people above you or people who can help you out, but for people who actually have something good to say. Sometimes that's people on your same level, that's people who work for you, that's people not necessarily connected with your organization, but have a good understanding of what you're doing and a good sense of it and can add value to the conversations. So yes, you need to have a good inner circle of people to advise you that you can bounce ideas off on, who will tell you when you're going the wrong way. But you also need to be open enough to take in outside advice, filter it for good or bad advice, and know how to apply it to you, what's happening to you and in the situation you're leading. Man, here's an undeniable truth. Good leaders, they don't go it alone. You have a relationship with a handful of people who you trust, who help you stay sane and stay focused. You need to build you a network of men and women who you trust, who help keep you on the right path as a good leader. Number 7, train your leaders well. An old saying that stuck with me is that there is no success without a successor. And I can think about going back through history, how Jesus had all his apostles after he left, how after every good leader in Apple and in Microsoft and in Amazon, there have been other leaders who had vision to take it to the next level, and how in recent times, Disney brought back their old leader because his successor didn't really lead them to success. See, good leaders become basically copies of the person they're leading with extended vision, with their own twist on it, but with some of those same basic core values. That's partially what we need to be building to have massive success. This goes back to, once again, what I said, is that leaders don't and can't go it alone. If you want to have a lasting effect in the world, to spread something successful to everyone around you, you have to be able to have your vision go out into the world and spread all the way around. It's going to take other people who are following you, hearing your vision, living it every day to help spread it. That's part of what you want to do. So you got to train your leaders well. And the number 8 things, you have to give clear instructions. Listen, man, if you're leading and you're truly leading, everyone's going to have to be clear on the vision, yes, and the next step along the vision. Everyone's going to have to know what you want them to do so they can spread it on to everybody around you to actually accomplish it. See, if there were vague instructions to people 5 years from now, 10 years from now, how are they going to accomplish it? It'll just be some weird sense of stuff that's not going to really get done. Think about you and the work you're doing today. You're laying the foundation for men and women who are going to be leaders in the future. Because that's what we are. We are legacy gentlemen. We're men with the skills, values, and works that's going to be admired and desired 1,000 years from now. That's going to come from the work we do and from the people we put our vision into. Everywhere you go, everyone you come in contact with, this vision needs to be a part of it. It's going to come through clear leadership that we want you to lead, that we want you to care about how you dress. We want you to care about how you talk to people. We want you to be unique everywhere you go with the solidness of your values and how you pass them on to everyone else. And that's what you need. Clear instructions showing that. In this video, I talked about 8 characteristics that leaders need to have to be great leaders. And I more than once referred back to Jesus Christ, mostly because I'm a Christian, and before I started to meet a lot of great men, that was my role model. That was my leadership role model. That was my ethical role model. That was my manly role model. That was my brother role model. That was my father and husband role model for my future. So especially if you call yourself a Christian, then we need to delve into the leadership that Christ actually showed us. And if you're like me, a young black man looking for a role model, I don't care what anybody else tells you. Give Christ a try in his leadership perspective and look at these things. But I just laid out 8 of those characteristics that he had as a leader that you can start applying to your life. Like I said, living in the world today, it's always hard to find good role models. You'll find people who you're like, I guess this guy sounds good. I don't hear anyone else saying stuff that he's saying. And if you really listen to it, it's garbage. And the things that will actually help lead us men to be better men, better husbands, better fathers are ridiculed and torn down. Us as men, us as black men who are leading our family, want to lead in our community, and want to be leaders in industry, we're going to have to look at what we know worked in the past and start living it in our life today. So there's a bunch of historical leaders from Musa in Africa to looking at Bob Johnson from BET today to Tyler Perry in the future. But Jesus Christ is also one of those great examples of leaders that we as men need to start modeling ourselves after so that we can be successful in the future. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson. Thanks for stopping by the Legacy Gentleman channel. If you found something in this video useful or thought-provoking, please like it. And if you're interested in watching more videos like this that'll help you develop the skills to be a man who's going to lead now, lead in the future, and leave a mark in the world, please subscribe to this channel because that's the kind of videos we make here. And until next time, go be legendary.